Today on this episode, we are taking a look at one amazing built rock crawler Jeep that has had just about everything on it redone or modified in some way. We're gonna meet with the owner and he's gonna tell us all about it. Stay tuned. Welcome to Trail Recon, I'm Brad, and today we are taking a look at one very cool Jeep. Adam, thank you so much, man, for coming out here this morning. This is Adam from Oh That One Dude on Instagram, and this is his 2014 Jeep Wrangler Titan, and I am really excited to be checking this out today. I've been following you on Instagram for a long time, man, and when we reached out and we're like, hey, let's film this, dude, I'm totally stoked. Thank you so much
thanks for having me.
Coming out here this morning.
Thank you.
Tell the guys a little bit about how you got here, because you obviously didn't buy the Jeep like this. You've built this along the way. What's the story behind it?
So when we bought it, it's a 2014. It was black. We had 20-inch rims on it, 35-inch tires, 4-inch suspension lift, and I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I just saw something off the lot that was built, so I was like, yes, I want it. Me and some buddies went out wheeling, and we're way more advanced than I was, and I wanted to try to keep up with them, and I couldn't. Kept getting hung up, or I was bottoming out too much, or scratching the rims. So after a few trips, we just came back to the drawing board. I'm like, okay, I need different suspension, I need different rims, and it just evolved. And this is what I came up with 3 years later.
Nice. Got rid of those 20-inch rims.
Got rid of them real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. Yeah, they're not too good on the trail. They look good on the street, but not for what we want to do.
Okay. Now, so you've been building this for how long?
About 3 years now.
About 3 years. It's been a cool transition and evolution and finding things you like and don't like, which we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, a lot of trial and error for sure.
Yeah. Talk to us about the name Titan. Why did you decide on that one?
So the name comes to you. I tried to choose a name and it just wasn't working out. And then all of a sudden it just clicked to me, Titan, because Titans, they're strong. You know, it's a god, they're indestructible. And this is pretty much what I've built this to be, is I wanted the best of daily driving. At any given time I can go off-road. And so Titan just fit best of both worlds.
Right. Awesome. Well, it is definitely a Titan. And you mentioned daily driving. You daily drive this?
I daily drive it. It goes 80 down the highway, to and from the store. And then, like I said, I just go off the trails and go have fun.
That's awesome, man. People probably look at it and think that's not a daily driver. People ask me all the time, do you daily drive your Jeep? There's no way you daily drive it.
Yeah.
I love driving my Jeep the way it is.
I love it. I love it.
Awesome. Well, let's dig into some of the mods and just tell us a little bit about why you've done what you've done. Let's start with the bumper.
So before, like when I first bought it, I had a different brand bumper. It was really heavy, stuck way out there. I kept getting hit up on stuff. So I did some research. Poison Spider had this. This is their Built for Hammers 2 design.
Okay.
So we actually had to take the frame, cut 2 inches off,
wow.
And it sucks it in. So it's a high clearance bumper.
Yeah.
And Poison Spider, they make great stuff. So I went with them, and so far it's held up really well. I got some scratches on there from some approach angles, and it held up pretty good.
Nice. Well, you know, scratches give it character.
That's right.
That's what we like. So awesome. Now you've got you got a pretty stout winch on top here. What do you got?
That is the Warren Xeon 10S.
Okay.
Again, it was all trial and error. I had another winch, and it gave up on me on a snow wheeling trip. The pins, the adapters were up top, and they got corroded. I'm not gonna say any names. So you want the best out there, and nothing's gonna fail on you. So I went with the Warren, and so far it's done justice.
Okay. You putting this thing to work?
I am mainly helping everyone else out.
Okay.
We did have one trip where we went snow wheeling and I got buried, and we probably pulled winch line for about 4 hours, just pulling me in and out, and so it was pretty great. But I have the wireless remote for it.
Yeah. So
I can just stay outside the cab and just activate it. It's really simple and very comfort.
Yeah, that wireless is definitely nice to have. You know, it's trips like that where you're winching a lot. Those ones seem to be the most memorable, and you're always like, man, I had a lot of fun while I was doing that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Awesome. And you've got the Factor 55 link up here?
Yep, I wanted something strong, durable. This is, you know, obviously the multifunction. You can hook into it either way and pull on it. And again, I just wanted something that was strong and worthy enough.
Sure. It's got a few scratches on there, man.
It does. It's seen some rocks.
Yeah, you've gotten rid of your mall crawler status, so that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a lot of lights, and I'm a big fan of the KC Pro 6. I just think it's a great looking light. But let's just start from top to bottom and work our way down and talk about what lights you have and why you chose those ones.
So like I said, I mean, it's probably the same song and dance all day long. I had, you know, the flat slimline light bars.
Yeah.
They kept getting water behind them.
Okay.
And I just got frustrated. So I did some research, talked to Taylor from Rebel Off-Road, and I saw you guys' video talking about the Pro 6. Looked into it. I mean, they're durable, they're sturdy, they put out a lot of light, and that's what I wanted.
So let me ask you, because I get this question a lot. Wind noise. Talk to us about, is there any wind noise with that?
Zero wind noise. That's one awesome thing about it, and I try to tell people on social media, and they don't believe me.
Right.
And I have no top on, and you can hear nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I had one of those square rectangular light bars, and the thing just whistled. And going to this thing, it's like, man, my tires are louder than the wind blowing over.
Yeah,
that
exactly,
thing. Yeah.
exactly. They're nice.
Yeah. Okay, the lights that you got on the A-pillars, what beam pattern are you running?
So I have those on a spot.
Okay.
So right now I have, you know, 3 levels of lighting. So I have the long distance, the mid-range, and the short range.
Yeah.
And sometimes I like to run them all so I can light the whole trail up. But a lot of times people don't like the Pro 6 when I'm behind them.
Yeah.
So I just switch off the lights and go to the A-pillars.
Yeah. I like having a spot up there because it shines a little bit past the hood. You don't get a lot of hood reflection with the spot.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. What do you got up here at front?
That is their Casey's Flex light. That's a 10-inch. And then we put the amber cover on there for when we're off-roading the dust and where we live, snow and stuff. So it's actually easy for people to see me when I'm coming down the road.
Yeah, I like the amber. It really does get rid of some of that reflection you get off of dust and snow and stuff. I'm running the amber up front, and it's you know, it's subtle, but it really makes a big difference.
Yes.
Okay, and talk to us a little bit about what headlights and fog lights you're using.
So these are the KC Gravity Pros. They're a projector and then also an LED for the high beams. Great visibility.
Yeah.
They're super great. And for the fog lights, we're running their Gravity fog lights also. Those two combined on the highway, you can definitely see.
Sure. And out on the trail, dude, that you've got, you're
Oh, yeah.
like running in the daytime.
Oh yeah, I wanted NASA to see me.
They probably can, right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Now this hood is not stock, right?
No.
What hood is this?
It's the Rugged Ridge Performance hood.
Okay.
So it's ventilated on both sides over here, the front and on the sides. With running the big tires and going up the hills that we have, I kept getting hot a lot.
All right.
And so I wanted a hood that I can actually breathe and keep me cool. And this was the best choice here. And it's actually metal. It's not even a fiberglass one.
Nice.
So it's built real well.
Yeah. Now what about underneath the hood?
So
Turbocharged, supercharger?
None of that. Nope. Haven't touched anything on the motor yet.
Okay.
K&N air filter.
Yeah.
You know, S-Pod and dual batteries.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. You like your S-Pod?
I love the S-Pod.
Yeah.
It's hands down awesome.
Okay.
The Bluetooth capability of it,
Yeah.
the functionality of it, it's the plug and play, it's amazing.
Right. And then you mentioned the dual battery. Are you running a lot of accessory stuff where you need
I do have a lot of accessories. I'm running dual yellow top Optimas in here, and because of the sound system that I have and all the lights, I needed something that can last a while on the trail, because when we go camping, I either have the lights on or we'll just play some tunes and just hang out. So I needed something that's going to last a while we're out there.
Well, it looks great. I really want to dive into talking about your tires and suspension, because you have a very unique suspension that I want to dig into.
Sounds good.
All right, Adam, the stance on this Jeep is amazing. How tall are we?
Probably sitting about 4.5, 5 inches of lift right now.
Okay. You don't really know, though, because you've got a fully adjustable system. Is that
correct? Yeah, with the ORI setup, I can go from a 0 lift up to 14 inches if I really wanted to. I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
The happy spot is about 5 inches of a shaft showing.
Okay. And talk to us about these ORI. Are they a shock or a coilover?
They're a strut. They're far from a coilover, and they're not a standard shock.
Yeah. I've never seen them on a Jeep before.
Right. And it's hard to find them on a Jeep because people are scared they don't know too much about them.
Okay.
And so that's why I wanted to try them out.
Yeah.
I ran coilovers prior, had the adjustable Fox shocks. I had all the different stuff, and I ended up with these, and I love these the most. These are fully tunable.
Okay.
I can adjust them on the deck in about 10 minutes. I can set it for a highway ride or off-road.
Nice.
It's just a matter of adjusting the pressures in the chambers. There's an upper chamber. You add more pressure to it, it picks your Jeep up.
Okay.
That's where you get your height. The lower chamber, you can add more pressure or depressurize it, and that gives you your body roll. Okay. So as right now, I'm running no sway bars because I have a lot of pressure in my lower chambers. When I go off-road, I just release the pressure and I can have as much body roll as I want.
Yeah.
So they're pretty neat.
Nice. Now I think a lot of us out here can relate. You've gone through a little bit of suspension trial and error. Pretty happy with this setup?
Love it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still some stuff we're gonna add to it over the time, but as of right now, it's perfect for me.
Now the mounts I was noticing are all welded on. So is this like a custom setup?
They are custom. A buddy of mine, Justin, owns Crash Fab. I went to him and said, hey, I have these struts that I want. It hasn't been done yet on a Jeep, and I need some towers made. He was all about it. I had the coilovers in here. I had a bolt-on kit.
Yeah.
So we deleted that off, deleted a bunch of brackets on the axle and everything like that, and he made it work.
Yeah. You know you've got the bug when you pull a coilover kit out and install this, right?
Yeah, coilovers just wasn't doing it for me.
Yeah. Talk to us about your wheel and tire setup.
So I'm running 40-inch Nittos
Okay.
with Machete beadlocks. They're a 17-inch. It's a great combination.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big tire, but it definitely helps out when you're rock crawling.
Yeah. Now the beadlocks are a little scuffed up there, which is a nice sign that they've been used. You know, you
Yeah.
don't want them too shiny, right?
No.
Okay. And you've got a custom valve in there. What do you got?
I do. I'm running their Power Tank Monster valves.
Okay.
So for airing down, airing up, on and off road, it's ease.
Yeah.
I mean, you can air these things down in a matter of seconds, and then you just plug the tank back up, and I can get back on the road in a matter of minutes.
Nice. Now the Nittos are a pretty aggressive tire. How do you like them on and off road?
Off-road, amazing.
Yeah.
And once you air down, they get good traction, they get good grip. Highway, they're quiet, they do real well.
Yeah.
I enjoy them.
Now these things are heavy in a 40-inch tire.
Yeah.
What have you done to your brakes to help slow them down?
So we just only did the Power Stop rotors.
Okay.
That are drilled and slotted. Kind of helps me slow down and keeps them cool.
Yeah.
I haven't really done much brakes on here yet because the way I drive, my driving style, I don't really need a hammer on the brakes.
Okay.
So I come to a stop pretty good.
All right. Now, to support these big old 40s, you need some reinforcement. And this was not a Rubicon model, correct?
Correct. This is an unlimited sport.
So what have you done to the axles to handle these 40s?
So right now on the front, I have a G2 Core 44 front
Okay.
with 513 gears, ARB locker, and then I threw RCVs in.
Okay.
So that's so far so good.
Pretty stout.
mean, yeah.
Now, I can see you've got a long arm kit here. What do we got back there?
So I'm running the Rubicon Express long arm kit.
Okay.
It's also been modified.
Yeah.
Just to accept for the ORIs because of the flexibility that I have. We did a 3-link in the rear,
Okay.
a standard 4-link connection up front, but on the lower control arms in the rear, we cut the joints out and we added 1.25" Heim joints. And we went to a 3-link. And then we stretched it 1.5 inches. So a lot has been done.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, man. It's amazing. I mean, that's the great thing about Jeeps is you can just customize it and make it your own and just dial it in the way you want it. So, okay. Talk to me about armor. What do you got underneath?
So for armor, I'm running Rubicon Express armor.
Okay.
I've ran them now for 3 years, all through my suspension lifts.
Yeah.
And they've held up. With the 4.5-inch lift, trying to go on the Rubicon, you're going to beat it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big time. And I mean, I've smashed them, slid across them, and it held up.
Yeah. I don't care what kind of Jeep you drive or what kind of vehicle you drive. When you go on the Rubicon, you're going to get bumps and bruises along the way,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. Okay. Drive shafts. You've upgraded your drive shafts?
I do. I have Adams drive shafts. They're 1350s.
Yeah.
We had to stretch the back because from the previous order, because of the stretch of the Jeep.
Yeah.
But right now, they've held up really well.
Yeah, those 1350s are pretty solid.
Yeah, and on the front of my drive shaft, they actually extended the splines. So I guess they come with the standard 7-inch. Mine are 9-inch.
Yeah.
Because of the stretch and the droop, they'll still do justice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Fenders and rock sliders, what do you got?
Poison Spider, these are I went with steel.
Okay.
I wanted something that's going to hold up. Aluminum, I know it's lightweight, but I'm going to abuse these things.
Yep.
So I wanted some steel ones up front. Same with the rock sliders. They're all Poison Spider. Those ones we welded on to the side. I didn't want a body mount or bolt in. So, again, got kind of custom with it and said weld it on.
Yeah.
And they've held up.
Well, when you weld it, you know it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's awesome. Well, man, I love the stance of your Jeep, but we still got a lot more to talk about. Let's hop back to the rear.
Sounds good.
All right, Adam, the first question that folks are going to ask is, why aren't you running a spare tire?
I didn't want the weight back here. I had the Poison Spider tire carrier.
Okay.
And some of the runs we go on, we get really steep incline, and I kept dragging it.
Okay.
So nope, no more. I didn't want the extra weight back there. So we deleted it.
Okay.
And now it's on a trailer if I go on long runs. If not, it stays at home.
Yeah. Well, and you're out usually with somebody, right? So
Exactly. Never go alone.
right, never
go alone. So I always have a buddy with me. Unfortunately, a lot of them run 37s.
Yeah,
So it's going to be a quick ride home to grab the truck.
it's like running a donut with these 40s. You get off the trail, okay?
Exactly.
Okay, so what have you put in place?
So we used Rebel off-road. I reached out to Taylor, and they had a delete kit
Okay.
that accepted the Rotopacks, which I kind of wanted to because the fuel mileage isn't the greatest in these, so I got to have the Rotopacks on here, and they had a perfect solution for me.
Yeah, it's a nice setup, and I like how the CB is mounted. The CB antenna is mounted.
Yeah, you can actually have a few options on there. You can have a CB, a ham radio antenna, or you can have some backup lights attached to it.
Nice. Talk to me about the bumper. What bumper you got back here?
This is a Poison Spider built for Hammers 2.
Okay.
Once again, we had to cut the frame
Yeah.
and suck it in some more, and then I had some KC custom tail lights made up for me, the flex lights.
Yeah.
I just needed some good lighting in the back, and that way we can see everywhere.
Yeah. I love that slim tucked in look. That's really nice. I mean, you've taken several inches off of what I have right there just to come in like that. That's
Yes,
really
at high
nice.
clearance. So I've hit it a few times,
Uh-huh.
and I probably shouldn't have, but it happens.
It happens. But you're using it. It happens. Now, you were telling me the rear ORI mounts are different back here. Tell us a little bit about that.
They are, because normally they're sitting in the back side of the axle.
Okay.
We went with an outboard style system here, so we actually cut my frame apart and then custom welded in the new towers to accept the ORIs.
So much work.
So much work.
But it's worth it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. You got some armor over here. What do we got?
These are the Poison Spider crusher corners.
Okay.
I needed some good protection. One day on a trail, I was backing up, and a buddy of mine was guiding me back. He's like, "Hey, come back, come back, come back!" And next thing you know, I took out a rock, and then I went my tail light. So I'm like, okay, I need some corners now. I just need some armor on it, and these are, again, these are steel.
Yeah.
So these are going to be pretty tough to hold up to anything that I throw at them.
Nice. Well, it looks great. Now, this big guy right here staring at me is the power tank, 15 pound?
15-pound tank with the 400 PSI regulator on there.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best purchases out there.
I love my CO2. It is so nice to be able to just air up a tire in like 30 seconds. And just
Oh,
get done.
it's impressive. Yeah, with this, with the 400 PSI regulator, with the monster valves, like that combination is ridiculous. I can air my 40s up in about 20 seconds.
Yes, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Especially when you're down at 8 PSI, right?
Exactly, yeah. It's
Cool.
impressive.
All right, tell us about the tray that you've got back here.
So the tray here is from Genrite.
Okay.
And because I have a sound system in here, I gotta have music for the trails.
Sure.
I'm all about it. I lost a lot of storage with the box in the back. And then I went with the Genrite cage on here, so I needed something for storage, and fortunately Genrite came up with this. Fits perfect. I can hold a lot of weight back here.
Yeah.
Besides the ice chest, I mean, I can load it up and no problem. It handles it.
Nice. And you've got the KC scene lights back here. I love these lights, but I like how you have them kind of custom mounted. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's again, lighting's everything for us when we go do our night runs.
Yeah.
I want to be visible on 360 degrees around the Jeep.
Sure.
So this thing is definitely loaded up with lights.
Nice. And on the opposite side here of the power tank, you've got a fire extinguisher.
Yep. God forbid I never have to use it.
Right.
But it's there if we need it.
Yeah, I preach it all the time. First aid kit, fire extinguisher, recovery gear. It's a must. There are quite a few folks out there that don't carry it, so I appreciate it when I see them out there and kind of letting everybody know you need to have your safety gear. It's really
Absolutely.
important. Okay, underneath your storage setup here, you've got a couple things. Tell us about what's back there.
I do. I have sound system. I have the subwoofer box back there. In the back of the Jeeps, they have that little cubby hole back there. Well, I decided to put my ARB compressor in there. Perfect fit. It's out of the way. If it ever was to flood through a river crossing, they got the drain holes back there. It works out just fine.
Very cool. Nice. Awesome. Well, it looks great back here. Let's hop in the interior because the customization does not stop inside either.
No.
All right, Adam, as we were hopping in the Jeep over here, I realized that we didn't talk about the color of your Jeep because it used to be black.
Yep. So here we have a Toyota Scion Cement Gray.
You've got Toyota on a Jeep.
I do. I wanted something that hasn't been done yet on a Jeep. So I did a lot of Google research and, go through colors, what works well. And this just seemed to, jump at me.
Well, it looks great, man. It really does, especially with all the red that you've got here. Now, tell us about these half doors. I love these things.
So these are the JCR aluminum half doors.
Okay.
They will accept the upper windows, but I wanted something at this point a little bit lightweight because I had the steel and I'm already heavy.
Yeah.
So I needed something that was durable and could accept the uppers if I needed to.
Okay.
And this was just the best price point right here.
Okay. And no rattle from these guys?
There's a little bit of rattle from the door handles.
Okay.
But it's a Jeep. You're gonna get a little bit of rattles somewhere.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, let's talk about this beautiful red piece of goodness that you've got here at the top. Tell us about the roll cage.
So the roll cage is made by Genrite Off-Road. It's pretty much the best cage on the market that you can buy right now, and I wanted something that will protect me in case of an incident.
Okay.
God forbid I don't want to ever roll over, but if I did, I'm very well protective. This is their puzzle cage. You can actually buy this in a kit. You can weld it yourself at home, install it, but for me, I had Genrite weld it. They have their own jig at their shop, and they just weld it up, and they can get it shipped out to you.
Nice. Now, this is not custom. This is actually how they sell it, right?
This is actually how they sell it on their website as a kit, correct?
Okay, and you've cut off all your B-pillars and everything and placed this in there.
Yes, so I went with the B-pillar chop, so it's a commitment.
Yeah.
And I went for it.
Well,
why not?
It looks great, man. And I love how you can just mount so much stuff to the roll cage. Tell us a little bit about all the stuff you got attached to it.
So for my side mirrors, I have Scotch. These mirrors, they look pleasing. They go with the theme of the Jeep. I got great visibility out of the sides of these.
Okay.
Here I have their magic mount for the cell phones. Put a magnet on the back side. They hold really well. We've gone off-road numerous times, you know, jumped it, landed hard.
Jumped it?
A little bit, yeah. Might have got a little bit of a skinny pedal going on at one point. When they say bump it, you mean you send it.
All right.
And then up above, I have the Axia Alloy rearview mirror.
Okay.
Needed to see out the back there, so that was a good option there. And the clamps, everything just works well.
Yeah. And you're still running a CB radio up there?
I am. Some of the guys back at home run CBs, so I decided to go with the Cobra, the LX29.
Okay.
It works well. It's got great distance on it. It's pretty clear, and it just goes. Everything just flows so well with it.
It's good to have CB because that's mostly what folks are running, so it's nice to have. Okay. What is this little power tank that you've got mounted here on the rear?
So the power tank back there has nitrogen in it.
Okay.
So when I need to go off-roading, I air down the pressures in the chambers, and I needed something to get me back onto the street. So I reached out to Power Tank. They didn't make a system yet for it, so we came up with this design to where I can actually push out the PSIs that I needed. So Steve over there came up with this great idea. It's a quick plug and play, and I'm back on the street.
Nice. And so it's nitrogen. How often do you have to fill that little tank up?
I'm still learning that.
Okay.
Actually, I haven't been out quite a bit enough yet with the setup, so I'm still taking notes and try and get everything figured out.
Okay, sounds good. You got some beautiful seats in here. Tell us about what you've got.
These are the Corbos. They are adjustable, so I can go forward, back, I can recline. That's what I want. A lot of your racing seats, they're stationary positioned, and these ones are just super comfortable. I mean, there's no way getting around them.
Yeah. And then the bench seat back there, you were telling me off camera that that's a little custom. What do you got?
That is the Corbo's Baja Bench.
Okay.
It's designed for a TJ or for a two-door JK. It's supposed to sit between the wheel wells, and I wanted to make it in the back. So I did some research. I reached out to PRP. They make a bracket. We ended up cutting the tabs off to accept the bench seat back there for the Corbo brackets.
Yeah.
And it works out.
Nice. It looks cool, man. I love the custom touches like that. It's really awesome. Okay, let's talk about your stereo system, man, because I know you love your music. What are you running?
I love music, man. I gotta have it. I'm right up here. I'm running the Pioneer, their 4400 NEX.
Okay.
So it's wireless Apple CarPlay.
All right.
And it does so many different features. I have navigation. I even have a front-facing camera down below, and it's nice. It links up with my steering wheel controls.
Okay.
It's all around pretty good system.
All right. Now you got a couple amps and speakers running off that?
I do. I got a couple Phoenix Gold amps mounted underneath the rear bench seat that are off the ground. So when we do the river crossings, like at Fordyce, water does come in at times, and they're off the ground.
Okay. And then what speakers are those?
The Bose speakers in the back are MB Quartz. They're a marine grade speaker, full waterproof.
Okay.
They do justice. I wanted something to where I can actually hear my music going down the highway because I have no top.
Yeah.
they do just fine.
Nice. That's a great setup, man. Awesome. Okay, you were mentioning that it does still sync with your steering wheel. Talk to us about your steering setup, because we didn't talk about that a whole lot. What are you running to manage this big old tires?
So with the steering up front, I have a Fusion 4x4 2.5 ton aluminum steering setup.
Okay.
It's a mouthful, but it works out well. Their links are just enormous. And because with them being aluminum, they'll flex out on the rocks. And I've gone through numerous tie rods. And so I was like, you know what, front facing camera, aluminum steering, problem solved.
Nice.
And then I have the PSC hydro assist steering to help push the 40s around.
Yeah.
And going down the road with no sway bars or anything like that, I mean, it's phenomenal.
Yeah. And when you're on the rocks and you turn, it's
turning.
It's
easy. Yeah, one finger, I can just go with it.
Yeah, I think that's a future upgrade for me one of these days. So awesome. Okay, let's talk about switches. So down here you've got for your lockers, right?
Lockers and rock lights. Yeah, this is a switch panel system down here from Rugged Ridge.
Okay.
I wanted something to easy access. I've had the overhead units before, just kind of hard just to kind of get up there and start pushing stuff around.
Yeah.
This suited my style the best.
And what rock lights are you running?
I have all KC Cyclones.
Oh yeah,
I got 16 underneath.
16?
16.
Holy cow, man.
I gotta see.
They definitely gotta see. And I was noticing too, you've got a couple up here as well. Tell us about those ones.
I do. So for interior, because I have no hardtop, I lost all my interior lighting. I just got creative and I decided to go with some red Cyclones for the interior. So now at nighttime, it kind of glows red. You know, it's easy on your eyes.
Yeah.
At nighttime, you can still see, and it has a cool feature.
Yeah, that's a lot of Cyclones, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, let's talk about your S-Pod. What do you have connected up to that?
So I have the S-Pod HD, and right now it's all set up with the Pro 6, the A-pillar lights, the flex light up front. I have my ditch lights in the back.
Okay.
I have the my ARB compressors also hooked up to it.
Okay.
And then one of my favorite things is the actual Multifunction Light by KC.
Tell us about that.
Love it. I mean, it does everything. You have brake lights, you have the amber strobe lights, you got backup lights, you have blinkers. It's an all-around awesome light.
Okay, I got to ask you before we talk about a couple other things. Tell me about the Remember Stupid, you have to drive it home. So why is that on your dash?
Yeah, so that was 2 years ago. Me and some buddies, we decided to have a guys trip and go out on the Rubicon. And when I first had my Jeep, I had a Dana 30 front end.
Yeah.
And only just a rear locker, 4-inch lift, and we decided to go. And when you're out with a bunch of guys, it's who can do what better. I decided to try to outdo myself. I ended up blowing up my front end.
Yeah.
And I sheared off a rear tire on the back, off the hub. And so I had to go home and make a phone call, and everyone's just like, dude, you just... So this is pretty much a voice of reasoning. Every time I go out, remember it, drive home safe.
Nice. Yeah. We all learn those lessons. It's okay.
Yeah, it's definitely an embarrassing moment, but you know what? Makes for a good story.
Yeah. Talk to us about the handheld comms you got in here.
So we have the Rugged Radio handheld here. Goes with, again, friends at home. Some have handhelds, some have the CBs. So we run these guys to get great distance on them. And where we're at, we get a lot of logging trucks. So they kind of interferes with the CBs. So we switched over to these. We have our own custom channels that we had Rugged programmed for us.
Nice. And it's on the Jeep Unique mount, which is, those are nice little mounts too.
I love them. They're clean looking, easy install.
Right.
I mean, and actually they hold up.
Yeah. And you've got a satellite phone down here.
I do. I have a satellite phone for those moments where I have absolutely no cell service because I'm not a ham licensed radio.
Okay.
I needed something to text back home if in case of emergency.
Yeah, it's nice to have. Good peace of mind for sure.
Yeah.
All right, navigation. What are you doing for navigation?
Navigation is just from the Apple CarPlay.
Okay.
So from my cell phone, it transfers over into the head unit, and it's all fully functionable, talks to you and everything. Get me home safe.
Yeah. What about underneath your seat there? I know you got a little storage. What do you got?
I do. I have a lockbox underneath there. That one's for some goodies that go underneath there for them off-road or, far away from home. I need to carry something.
Yeah. Hey, we all know about our Second Amendment rights.
Yeah,
it's okay,
exactly.
Man.
It's a good spot to have it underneath there. It's safe. It's locked up. No one's going to get into it unless they take the seat out.
Awesome. Well, you've got an amazing interior, man. I think we could spend another hour in here talking about this cool stuff you've got.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man, it has been awesome taking a look at your Jeep, but now there's some questions that I've got to ask. What is your favorite modification that you've done to the Jeep?
That one's going to be kind of hard because there's so much on here.
Yeah.
But I would say the gen right cage.
Okay.
It's style points, but again, safety.
Yeah.
Safety's everything. And to an event, if I ever rolled, I'm covered.
Yeah, it looks so awesome, man. I mean, I know there's a few Jeeps out there that have it, but dude, it just looks really unique on your Jeep.
Yeah, the red pops.
Yeah. Okay, you're not done, right?
No.
What's the next project?
No. We are going to do a triangulated 4-link in the rear.
Okay.
We're going to remove the fuel tank that Jeep decided to put right there that's in the way.
Yeah.
And we're going to do a custom fuel cell in the trunk of the Jeep. We're actually going to cut the whole floor out, recess a tank in there, and get everything set up so I can have the articulation in the back.
Just a little project.
Just a little project.
What size tank are you going to put back there?
Haven't decided yet.
Okay.
Haven't decided. Probably around the 15 to 20 gallon tank, because I can get around home still.
Yeah.
For the long distance, obviously I'm going to be on a trailer.
Yeah.
But I think that would probably do best.
Okay. Look, I know you wheel this thing all the time, and we kind of alluded to it a little bit, but what has been the stickiest situation you've ever been in?
Man, that was on, 4.5 inch lift, 37s, Dana front 30,
Yeah.
out on the Rubicon. I tried to go up the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I made it halfway up, and then I almost rolled it. I went on my side, and it was a sticky situation for sure.
Yeah.
Freaked out. And hopefully now, I'll never be in that position again.
Yeah. Lesson learned, I think, from that for a lot of people to take back with them is you really got to make sure your rig is well prepared for the tires and combination that you have set on it. And the Rubicon's no joke.
No. No.
Okay, speaking of that, what has been the favorite trail you've been on?
So obviously I've done the Rubicon,
Yeah.
I've done Fordyce, but for me I would say Slick Rock.
Okay.
It's in my backyard,
Yeah.
It's close to home, but the trail's phenomenal. You can make it as challenging if you want, or you can make it as easy as you want. And they camp on the side there. I mean, it's just an all-around good trail.
That sounds like my kind of place.
Oh yeah, you got to come up.
You know what? I might take you up on that, man.
Yeah.
For sure. Marco, if you're listening, we might be going up north.
Let's do it.
Okay, what trail is on your bucket list?
So I've never been to Moab.
Yeah.
And this year I've decided to do Easter Jeep Safari.
Yeah.
So I pretty much bucket list was to go to Moab, and this year I'm living it up.
Yeah, I love Moab. There is so much to do out there, and I'm going to EJS this year, so I'm looking forward to checking you out while we're
Heck
out there.
yeah.
Maybe we'll hit a trail together.
Yeah.
Brother, thank you for driving down here
Thank you
today.
for having me. I appreciate it.
Love your Jeep. It's
Thank you.
awesome. Hey guys, if you enjoyed checking out this Jeep, I've got a couple other videos where we've done. I'll leave links right up here and down below in the description. Go check those out. If you are visiting Trail Recon for the first time, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a member of the Trail Recon team. Please remember to travel the trails responsibly. Thanks for watching.